is actually crazy to think that a whole nother year has gone by. The games that we've played, we've loved, we've hated, the new consoles. Today on 8-Bits, we get to reflect. We get to go through This Is Your Life 2013 in gaming. I'm excited to do so. I'm DJ Wheat. As always, itmeJP, my co-host, and our special guest this week, Dan Gheesling. You might know him from his stream here on Twitch. You might have actually seen him win Big Brother 10, or possibly should have won Big Brother 14, in my opinion. But that's for a whole other show. Guys, what is up? How are you doing? Welcome to the program.
What's going on? Thanks for having me, guys. I'm a big fan of the show.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
my pleasure.
We've, I mean, Dan, I guess just to get started, like, I love, you know, I love sort of the story of how Dan and I met and how he got into it, because, you know, Dan, who, of course, I was a fan of Dan's before, you know, we had even met up, a huge Big Brother fan. And when we finally did, we sat down and Dan got to pick my brain for an hour about like streaming and doing shows and stuff. And Dan, you've really like jumped into it and embraced the hell out of it. So, you know, that's awesome.
No, it's been awesome to think about like how we first connected. I remember I was in Seattle. I'm like, hey, I want to get a tour of Wizards of the Coast. And you're like, dude, I can hook you up. And then later I found out that you were like the Julie Chen of esports, more like John Madden. Now that I've
still
got my
don't know
esports.
if I'm comfortable with you calling me
the Julie Chen. What the fuck?
Esports. I know
it's a big brother tie-in. But I definitely credit you for bringing me to Twitch, and it's been an awesome experience. And thanks so much. I'm glad we've connected. And now, freak, I'm on 8-Bits with you guys. So
yeah, man.
This is amazing for me.
Yeah, and you will be scrutinized for all of your picks of 2013, no doubt.
An American television personality, news anchor, and producer for CBS.
Yes, Julie Chen is the host of Big Brother. There's the tie-in, JP.
Fucking Wikipedia doesn't say the host of Big Brother.
It really? That's actually bad. That's actually
well, I mean,
bad.
I just read like the little Google clip it thing on the right side. I mean, I'm sure if you go to the actual Wikipedia.
Dude, I won't lie. I've definitely stolen some stuff from Julie Chen for sure. Like I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Like what? The butt first?
Well, you got to understand, like when they do the live shows on Thursday, and Julie actually has to do the show. They have her do a lot of breaks, so she's really good at like throwing to commercial. Like she's fucking great at it, man. So I would just used to always watch and go, oh, yep, I'm gonna use that one, Julie. Oh, yep, I like that one. You know, like it's so she has to do it enough that she like mixed it up. So I mean, straight up, I like stole that shit from Julie, man.
Well, speaking of CBS, like I was nervous getting ready for the show because, like, and this is what the people, you know, like fans of 8-Bits don't get to see. Well, before we're going live, Marcus is like 2 minutes and 30 seconds till we're live. 2 minutes till we're live. 30 seconds. I'm like back in the CBS lot. I'm like, this is a freaking production, which is awesome.
I just tuned Marcus out for that. I don't even realize.
Yeah, JP's just typing away. Like,
he's like, we're live, and I'm like, Marcus, you don't say that to start off the show. What the fuck are you saying?
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. Well, and it's even more funny because like when we were doing role play the other day, like the guys were chatting and JP does the same thing, like, okay guys, we're going live, and the guys are so like, and then I took my army of acronyms and we went over to, I'm like, guys, they're like, shh, be quiet. They're like, oh, the intro's playing right now. It's fun. Anyway.
Yeah.
So behind the scenes on 8-Bits. Anyways,
behind the scenes.
There you go.
All right, we ready to talk about video games. Obviously, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about our favorite picks of 2013, but we're going to start as we always do and discuss what the hell we've been playing. And let me go first because on this show, and I don't even. Oh yeah, it was because of we went through the VG or the VGEXA, the new Spike. What are they?
The debacle.
VGX.
So we were looking through all the nominees. This is before they had the actual show. And one of the games that was talked about in the indie section was Papers, Please. And I actually got crucified.
Yeah, me and Jeff, I do.
Yeah, because I hadn't played it yet. So I started. And I gotta say, it's a pretty like fascinating game. And when I say fascinating, it's like mesmerizing in a way. It's
you get entranced trying to like look at all the stuff.
Like you're just like, and the whole concept of the game is that you are a passport border agent, and you must like check different information, and every day they're like, oh, this now you need a work permit to come in if you're here for work. So then you got to make sure that this permit matches up with this one, and make sure their names are the same and their date of births are lined up, and then you got to approve them or you got to deny them. And then there's people trying to swindle you, and then there's this all of a sudden this conspiracy going on. Like it's insane.
Did you get to the morality parts of it yet?
Well, I mean, I've had to make a few decisions already, but I'm guessing that it just continues to build and build. I think I'm on like day 9 because I originally I'm on, Sean. I originally started in not really knowing what I was doing, and then after day 5, I was like, okay, I'm starting over. I've got a plan now. And then
do they play into stereotypes? I mean, like, are you making like gut calls based on appearance alone?
Yeah, but you also will get you get like a violation, a ticket, if you do something that you're not supposed to do. So even if you let someone through that you shouldn't, you can get a violation for it. And if you miss someone went through that shouldn't, you can get a violation for it. So, I mean, it's hilarious because like at one point they're like, we had a terrorist from this nation, so anyone trying to come in from this nation is automatically subject to search. But your dialogue with the people that you're playing is like, sir, you've been selected for a random search. And then you got to, it's shit like that. So it's definitely a commentary on society while being incredibly fun and entrancing. That's all I can say about it. Some people will definitely be like, this game is not for me, but it's pretty fantastic.
I'm guessing you didn't stream that game.
I did.
Wait, huh?
I did. I streamed I stream it on like it's a cool down game. Right? It's like you're done with whatever you're playing. It's like, okay, let me get on some papers, please. The problem is, Dan, is that then I play it for like an hour longer than I expected to. So fuck the game. So but it's good. It's really good. If you hadn't picked it up, it's those guys had every right to crucify me.
Well, we crucified you for not knowing what it is, not for the fact you haven't played it.
Fair enough.
I think Jeff actually played through it. I've only played like the first 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, I don't feel like reading right now, and I ended up closing the game. But I know a lot about it.
It doesn't sound like it's that fun. Like you're doing actual work in a game, like comparing papers. Like you do that in real life.
I mean,
why would you want to do that for a game?
Like, I also think that the animations and like the controls are for some reason like satisfying with how like you like drag something over and you like look through it, and then you can like swipe it back. And it just like swipes back over. And then you have to like stamp certain stuff. I thought that was an attractive part of the game as well. But I'm kind of it's almost kind of a gimmick that they have that in there. But it's a good gimmick. I thought it was very, very well done.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
So Papers, Please. That's what you've been playing. What else have you been working on?
So obviously The Walking Dead season 2.
Which talk about that though.
What's that?
No spoilers, man. No, you're not gonna drop any spoilers.
No, without spoilers, it's like it's just fucking awesome. It is as good as the first one, if not better, because I think they realized what people really liked about the first one and just went with it. But, people are all like, The Walking Dead season 1, it's all about the feels. Like, dude, they are punching you in the heart, like, right away.
Really?
Right? Oh, man. It's like I'm getting emotional just thinking about it right now. It's so good. It's so good.
I'm going to do the same thing I did with The Wolf Among Us. I'm not playing that till the 5th episode's out. I'm going to try to wait.
You don't want to get cliffhang, JP?
Yeah, I do that to my YouTube viewers every day, and I just can't. I can't do it to myself.
I can't do it to myself.
So when's the second part supposed to come out? Like 3 months?
It'll probably be a year. Like we'll probably be talking about it next year on the 8-bits.
No,
20 or 14. Dude, they delay that shit so long. It's like 2 months in between each one. It takes forever.
It's so good.
I'm looking forward to playing it for sure. But did you guys play 400 Days?
I did.
I played on Vita, which might have been a mistake, because newsflash, it won't import into Steam. So only my decisions from season 1.
Man, are you playing on the PC for the second season, Marcus?
Yes, yeah, for sure.
And were your saves corrupted or like fucked up or anything from the first season?
Nope, everything was.
I'm gonna have to go to like one of those websites where it has all the choices and like rebuilds a save for you. Because like I was one of those people that there were so many issues with the PC version of the game, just like corrupting saves and all that bullshit, and I fell victim to that nonsense. So that's also one of the reasons that I'm not playing the first portion of it, because I don't want to rebuild the save at this point, and I got to find a website to do that first off.
Well, when you guys get around to it, it's great. So I definitely played it with Mini Wheat. He loved it, so it was good.
How much did you take into account his decisions, or was it just your call 100% of the way?
You know what? It's
we're going with this one.
It's because they don't give you much time. You guys, I mean, you've both played the game. Like in this one, let's just say that like things are moving pretty fast, so you have even less time to make decisions, and so there's no like, okay, James, so what do you think we should do here? And but in his reactions, that's where you would sort of get decisions anyway. Right, so that's just how I ran.
So I guess I'm asking, did you heed his emotions, or were you just totally neglected it and went with your own gut?
No, I definitely we reacted together. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. For sure. For sure. So
good stuff.
Yeah, it's great. If anyone that's looking forward to or has been on the fence, like, don't be. It's really good. It's really good. So, all right.
Dan, what have you been playing?
Yeah.
So I just finished Grand Theft Auto 5 and really enjoyed it, but I made the decision at the end. I don't want to spoil it. That's probably contrary to most probably what people played. How they finished out. Did you guys both play it and finish it?
Yes.
I know, JP, you finished it. Like I saw you tweet something like you'd finish it within like a week or even shorter than that, right?
Yeah, I'm really stupid when it comes to like big AAA titles. I'll finish if I can in a day, but that one was like 4 days after it came out.
Yeah, so I just finished that up, and I was okay with it. Like I didn't feel like it was something that I'm going to go back and play again. I didn't feel like the need to 100% it. I was kind of just wanting to get through it. And did you guys feel that way when you were playing through Grand Theft Auto 5?
Kind of. I think towards the end more yes than no. There were just a couple missions that I kept thinking were going to be the last, and then it was like, oh, but now you got to go do this, and I was just like, God damn it, like. I wish this game would just be over.
I didn't have enough time, honestly. Right, like to 100% that game.
Oh yeah, there's no way to. Like,
welcome
that's way too much
to job number 4. Like I don't. Yeah. So just the fact that I made it through was satisfying enough for me.
Yeah. So I looked at it and like taking the first heist and how it was set up, where there's like variables, like you could decide to like hang out and steal everything and then get the hell out of there. Like I felt like the other heists weren't. Like you just got all the money or you didn't. I didn't feel like.
Yeah,
I was kind of disappointed the heist went on.
The first one you do with the jewelry store, like that, I think that was like the best one. Towards the end, they don't really come like you said. There's not too much to them. You just go in, get whatever you're gonna get, and then leave. Yeah. I think maybe the other comparable one that I enjoyed was when you get the minigun towards the end. That's kind of a spoiler, but I think that was the police station.
Is that when you're like fully decked out and like
yeah. Like, that was a pretty cool reveal when they don't show you what's actually going to happen with that stuff, and then it just happened. They're like, shit, this is kind of cool. Like, this is a big power fest, so that was a lot of fun to do. But a lot of I wish they did more with those heists towards the end of the game.
Yeah, that was kind of a disappointment, but I'm glad it was over. I mean, that's kind of a weird thing to say about a game, but I'm glad it's over. And then since then, I just fired up Super Meat Boy, which I know is a really old title, but it's like I'm just raging and having so much fun playing it. So that's what I've been playing.
Good game.
What about you, JP?
I mean, I do the stupid ADD thing every week. So where do I start?
Are you gonna list off like 10 games?
Possibly. And I guess we could start with DayZ, because that's probably I think the game that I probably put the most time into this week. So the standalone version got released for DayZ. If you don't know what that is, it was a Arma 2 mod that came out and kind of like was this gigantic phenomenon that happened like last year. I don't know when that actually started. Did that start early 2013?
What, DayZ?
No, I was still in Galveston. That was like 2013 was 2012.
Yeah, that seemed like a while ago, man.
Yeah,
It's been.
It was a long time ago, but I had a lot of fun with the mod back then. And I think one of the main reasons that I quit was just that it was the Arma 2 engine, and that was annoying as shit to use, and it crashed a lot, and it had bad FPS, and it had a shit ton of hackers, and just all that nonsense, and it kind of just got old after a while. But the standalone's pretty good. It's obviously incredibly alpha right now, so not much has changed. It still crashes. It still has a lot of bugs. It's its own engine now, which is nice. There's a lot of things that is I don't know how they're gonna fix, or I guess I'm waiting for them to fix is the best
All
thing.
right, you sound really conflicted. So can I just
I am
can I ask you some questions to try to okay. So first and foremost, you know, like I watched some streams and it still looks like it has pretty bad FPS.
Yeah, if you get into a city, it drops down to about 20.
Okay.
And I was on a, granted that was on a 570. I just got my new graphics card last night, so I don't know if it's going to be that bad, but
okay. So
there's a definite FPS drop.
In terms
What's the
of,
max? What's the max players in the world? 64? Is 128?
Yeah, 64, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to cut you off, Weed. I just wanted to see if they updated that.
No. Okay. So as far as like, you know, there was this unique property about DayZ in that because of how crazy difficult it was to do anything in the game, that sort of gave it this, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's why I loved it.
Okay, so how is that translated into the standalone?
And what is it still hard to do anything?
Yeah, like does it keep that level of difficulty? Like do they improve on the right things but still give you?
I mean, the game is still very alpha. I think that's the number one thing. Like, alpha is alpha. Even the creator, which is like on Twitter, like, guys, this is an alpha. Do not buy this game unless you know that going in. Like, that's one of his most celebrated statements since it's come out. Is just like the creator's not telling you to buy this game. The fact that it went on Steam and I think it's sold like some absurd amount.
Dude, I was just looking
like
at
5
it. Yeah.
million. Isn't it like $5 million worth?
Sold,
That's what I read. The other day.
172,000 sales.
Yeah, at $30 each, which
That's
I mean, there's a
insane.
fan base for it, so I guess there's that. But they do make things a little bit easier in the sense of like how the UI works and how all that comes into play. Is the game easier? Not really. Like, it's still a pretty harsh game. In fact, I would say it's even harder because you have to do things, and you had to do this back in the Arma 2 version, but now it's pretty important where you actually have to like drink or eat on a consistent basis. And if you don't, you start to dehydrate. And if you don't eat, actually, your character will just die. He'll just like suddenly go unconscious and like fall over. And I don't know all of the rules and all the ins and out of it, so I'm sure I'll get a couple things wrong every now and then when talking about it. But I'm having a lot of fun. I think it's also, in terms of like the streaming games out there, I think it's like the #1 game to stream for an audience. Like, there is not a more enjoyable game to watch someone play than DayZ, because crazy shit is just what that game's all about. And it's not like crazy shit happening because of a bug. It's just like watching Lyric yesterday, and he, like, these two guys, because there's in-game voice chat, these two guys come up and they've got guns pointed at him, and he's got a hatchet on his back, and they're like screaming at him to get down on the ground and ask him if he's friendly. And Lyric like gets down on the ground, and then a third guy walks over who's like one of their friends. They all have got guns, and Lyric's like, "Hey, did you guys see that guy over there? You should go get him." And one of the guys goes off, and he's like looking around with his mouse while the two guys are taking his blood, because that's the only way that you can get someone's name in the game is by taking the blood transfusion, I think.
What?
And like, as this is happening, he pulls out his axe and just starts beating the shit out of these two guys and ends up killing them both. So he just like kills these two guys with like full on M4s with like scopes and everything. And it's like, that's only something that can happen in DayZ, and it was fantastic.
Well, I know we can appreciate this, because I went through like a year ago, and like that was one of the most modern day, most difficult mods to install, but I wanted to do it because the draw for me is that had a little bit of Ultima Online to it, you know, where you talk about like anything goes, and when you die, you drop your stuff. And Wheat, have you played DayZ?
Yeah, but I think I also played it in the era of, you know, you have to hide your identity, especially when you're streaming. Otherwise, you're just going to get fucked with.
When I streamed it, me and Steven, Destiny had a 15-minute delay on our streams. Like, you can't.
15?
We had a 15-minute delay on the streams. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, when Steven plays that game, his community just fucking like hunts him down no matter what. He'll like hide the server, and then all of a sudden someone will like find him, and like 30 people just show up and try to kill him.
That's awesome.
Well, okay. So, I mean, but you had fun, right? Like,
yeah, I had a lot it was buggy as shit, but I still had a lot of fun. Like, I think that if that game continues to be improved, and they've had patches pretty much every day, granted, they've all been somewhat minor. And I'm sure they won't patch next week because of the holidays. But if he keeps improving that game and it gets to a point where it runs like a solid 50, 60 FPS on most machines, and they work out a lot of the mechanics in the game, like that's going to be a shit ton of fun when everyone can jump in there and have a good time with it.
Yeah, I mean that's always been the draw for me, you know, and seeing and like you said, JP, watching the game, just the crazy shit that can happen. You know, and obviously we know that this game has sort of begun the offshoots of this style of game, right? This sort of survival, and it's I'm curious to see if you know DayZ can sort of continue its own legacy.
Yeah, I think a game that goes with that I played this week also that was released on Monday is the Just Cause 2 multiplayer. And while there are two sides of the spectrum, DayZ very focused on realism, very focused on like having mechanics that somewhat related to real life. Just Cause 2 is the complete opposite side of the spectrum, where you can fucking spawn a boat as you're in a parachute going down to the ground and hit boost, and the boat will start going up in the sky. Just like take off. And there's like 1,000 people on these servers. I saw one server that had a 10,000 person cap.
What?
That's awesome. That's incredible.
It's $3 on Steam.
I gotta make sure I have Just Cause 2. I'm almost positive I do.
The multiplayer mod is like supported by I think it's not Bohemian. Those are the guys that make DayZ.
I forgot. How do I not have that game?
So you're telling me there could be 10,000 players in one server in one realm of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a server has reached that size yet. I think the biggest I've seen is around like 900, and it's not stable. Like it's the the game is so fucking crazy. Like you can just open up a chat log and like /TP airport, and you teleport to the airport. And as you're like slowly descending to this airport, if you have a parachute, you see like fucking 10 747s like slowly descending onto this thing, and like 30 guys just running around in these cars, and it's all loading in very slowly because there's so many people on the screen. It's just like complete nonsense, but
it sounds like total nonsense.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, if you have like 2 hours to fuck around or 30 minutes to fuck around, you can get in the game and like do whatever you want. You can spawn a boat like I do and hit the shift or hit shift, which is boost, and like you don't even need water. It just like picks up on the water and starts flying, going like 700 kilometers an hour and running into shit. And it's a ton of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it.
See, this is where I rant a little bit, because how can a game like that theoretically have a server that can hold thousands of people, but DayZ limited to 64? Like you get DayZ to a few hundred, then I think it gets a hell of a lot more interesting. So you're not just running around looking for people the whole time.
So I have some insight that I can relate back to Ultima Online for this exact thing.
Love okay, talk.
So especially with like DayZ, is that you have to keep in mind that every player has an inventory, and this inventory is slotted. So in that, it keeps inventory, it keeps within the database not only what is in the inventory, but also the location. So, of course, then it's dealing with a lot of points. Like the reason why I mentioned Ultima Online is when servers had to be backed up, this was the reason why server backup times grew from like 20 minutes to hours, because every single fucking item in Ultima not only had to save what it was, but like its location in the world. And if it was in a sack, within a chest, within a house in Monarch, then it had to like save all of that sub data. And I imagine that there's a lot of shit like that going on in DayZ as well.
Yeah, I mean the world and like I don't know how big the Ultima Online world is, but the world in DayZ is like massive. I think it's 2 square kilometers is how big. It takes like hours to walk across this thing in real time. So
and that's the thing. Like you could spend hours and you don't see anyone. Where in Ultima, you walk. You know, that's why I just feel like, and this is an endless gamer debate, but I'm always gonna be chasing Ultima Online because, like, I know Wheat when you're talking about bag upon bag, I know you hid your key to your house in like 10 different bags so the thief wouldn't pickpocket you. But like, I know that, and we've had conversations about Ultima Online, but I don't know if we're ever gonna see the Wild Wild West type game again. I hope we do. I think DayZ has a chance, but.
The thing is like, how do you scale DayZ even beyond that? I mean, you're sort of going there, Dan, but like, you know, I even saw on the page they describe it as like an MMO, and you know, I kind of, sort of, but not really. Yeah. But the point is like, you know, is that what the Division is going to try to do, where it does introduce like a shitload more people in that like are sort of spawning in and out as they're playing the game, or will another game come along and do it? Because that's what I think would be really fun for me, if then suddenly, you know, you do sort of create, you know, we're taking over this territory and we're going out and we found these fucking boards and these metal things and we're going to start putting up a little thing, and then people assault. Like, I mean, that would be truly the ultimate survival game in that regard.
But the thing is, that would have to be a persistent physical world. So you set up like Crossroads, like you set up shop there. Everyone knows, they can all go there, and they're going to see Wheat JP holding down the fort,
right?
Mini Wheat running around drawing people.
I don't know if that type of game can like exist in this world.
It's just like, dude,
apart from UO,
it will just
like I got there's EVE Online, which is probably. I think it's definitely on that scale where it's a complete sandbox MMO, and there is complete nonsense going on in that game with like fucking actual spies inside of other corps and all of this like complete craziness with real monetary transactions happening in the game, like billions of ISK being filtered out to another bank that's like out in the fucking deep space, like just nonsense happening. I think that's probably the closest we'll get to UO, but. Yep. Who knows? Maybe there's someone out there that can figure it out.
I've hopes for Star Citizen, but that's for another conversation. Because isn't EVE Online essentially? I've never played it, but it's just like a spreadsheet. I mean, there's no.
There is a game to it. Yeah, but if you're playing EVE Online, chances are you are playing a spreadsheet game. Yeah. Or you have a spreadsheet open.
I mean, in all fairness, like UO had a little bit of that element too. You know
what?
Like, dude, hold on, Dan. Like, I was a blacksmith full time for a while, and that shit was all about spreadsheets. How many
keeping track of all your stuff.
Chain, like chain leggings do I have to make to get just like this 0.2 amount of blacksmithing skills, and then how many, it all.
But that was from the commerce side. When you went out to go gank people.
Well, that was different, right? Of course. But I mean, even the economy side, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, all right, would you recommend, JP, that someone jump on the early access, or do you feel like okay?
No, last question. You will not have like the menu text, like the continue button is like inside the menu text when you start up the game. So don't like, if you're expecting a completely polished game, do not go and purchase DayZ right now. If you have a bunch of friends that want to fuck around in a game and you know that it's an alpha, you might have a good time.
Right on.
That's my take on it.
All right.
I got to give a nod this week to Wraith Knight in Dota 2. So you guys are aware they did a game mode, which is, in my opinion, way better than Dire Tide. So it's only a 5-man. It's almost like tower defense, and then at the end you fight the Skeleton King, you resurrect, you fight him again, and you get souls. You go along the way, and then they've got, like, once you beat it, they've got a new game plus and a new game plus, and you can sort of keep going in the.
So it's like difficulty. An RPG.
No, it's like I mean, you're still leveling like you would normally be in Dota. You're still buying similar items. There's some items that are different, but it's just waves of basically minions just coming at you. It's actually an interesting sort of I don't know what to call it, commentary or maybe foreshadowing, because Warcraft 3 was sort of the home of the custom game as it is defined today, and Dota was sort of born at Warcraft 3, and Wraith Knight looks to be like a throwback to some of the more popular types of games that were also, not as popular as Dota, but other Dota fans really enjoyed playing. So I don't know if Valve would ever open it up and be like, boom, now you can make custom games too, because that could get a little crazy. But even if Valve made a few or brought some of the most popular ones over, whether it be with the help of the community or not, it's something that could be really cool, because this one is it's fun.
Yeah. Huh. To me, the most interesting parts of that update aren't really about the game so much. It's the fact that they are starting to rename all of the big heroes in the game, like Skeleton King's Wraith Knight, right? Or Wraith whatever King or whatever.
Yeah, they've been changing quite a bit now.
I think Windrunner is what? Do you know what it is off top of you? They changed her name.
No, they changed.
It's no longer Windrunner.
Wisp.
See, I've never played Dota, but why are they doing that? They're doing that for a reason. Why?
No one knows, but everyone thinks it's because of the fact that those names are from the Warcraft 3 mod.
That's exactly
and they don't wanna,
it. Well, not even the mod. Like, they're from Warcraft 3.
Oh,
like,
they are from Warcraft 3.
That is what Blizzard referenced these characters
Wind
as.
Ranger, that's the name.
Right, so I don't know if this is a court mandated, like, you've got to do this, or if this is just an instance of let's just start protecting our asses. Like, everyone knows this is the fucking Wisp. Let's just give it a name. And
Valve and Blizzard, like, what, a couple months ago, maybe even a year ago, they were about to go throw down in court. So I'm sure that there was some settling where at a certain amount of time they had to rename shit.
Yeah, someone in chat also mentioned PC Gamer Magazine labeled Dota 2 the best esport of the year. It's got the journalists like by the balls for sure.
That honestly makes me wonder though. Like, it's so easy to hate on League of Legends. It's so easy to hate on that game. Like, I wonder how much of that factored into it.
Well, no one said the biggest.
Right. No, I get it.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I've never played one of those types of games, and after hearing this, I'm going to play either League of Legends or Dota. Which one would you guys recommend to play for someone who's never played a MOBA
I'd
before?
probably recommend League.
Really?
The systems in that game are much easier to understand at first, and then once you understand those systems, it translates pretty well over to play Dota, and you can learn those at a more rapid pace where you're not just like slamming your head against the wall in frustration.
Yeah.
You agree? You'd go League first before Dota?
Yeah, I mean, I would say either League or even a game like Strife that is even a little bit more forgiving on like last hitting, and sort of helps you through, I think, the combat more than anything. Because in Dota, you have to have all those things, right? So you could probably play 5 MOBAs to get ready to play Dota. Like that. I mean, I'm not fucking around. Like, the game is
that
hard.
MOBA boot camp.
It's hard. It's hard.
Definitely. It's one of those games where you will spawn in, and even after playing like 100 games, you will have a slight grasp on what is actually happening and going on.
So for you guys, what's the draw to keep going back? It's like when you get victory, it's like nothing else you achieved in a similar type game.
For me, it's just the fact that, like, when I do play, and I don't play it that often. I'll play once in a blue moon when Weed asks me to or whatever. But the fact that, like, I've probably played over 2,500 games of Dota 1 and Dota 2 combined, and like not a single game in that experience has been the same. They've all been different, and I think that that's probably why like the MOBA genre in general is so interesting to play, because every single game is different.
Yep, I'd agree. I mean, it's the same reason why I love StarCraft 2, and the same reason why I loved Quake is that, you know, when I ever get beat down, that's what motivates me more than anything to just be better and get better. So it's got that same feeling. And it's not that the other games don't give that feeling. It's just that you can get fucking demolished in Dota and just like be like, God damn it, I won't let them do it to me. Like, it can't happen. No, I'm going in again. That's hard for a game to conjure up because it's so easy to be like, fuck it, I'm out. You know, peace. But that challenge, man.
The challenge brings you back. Got it.
Yeah. All these, look, you're playing Super Meat Boy, dude. You
you understand it now.
Yeah. No,
just in different form. What the hell is Electronic Superjoy? Before we keep going.
So last night it's like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, well, I'm not tired. I probably shouldn't go to sleep right now. I'll wake up in the middle of the night. Blah blah blah. And I'm like looking through. Before we get into that, why the fuck is there another Steam sale? There was a Steam sale like 2 weeks ago. Like, what? They're getting kind of crazy with this shit.
Especially when you own everything.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you own everything. I don't even know what game there is that I want to buy.
What's out right now? Because they change it every 8 hours, right?
Yeah. They do. Omerta.
Risk of... Oh, that's the next one. I'm voting for Risk of Rain. Sorry.
Nether. What's Nether?
See, you don't even know what half these games are. And that's how I stumbled on Electronic Superjoy.
Oh, I do.
Now, Electronic Superjoy, you might actually like this, Dan, if you're enjoying Super Meat Boy. I know
why you like it.
But, so...
A blast of pink on their webpage.
I don't even know how to describe this game. The game opens up, and it's got like a stupid story to it. It's a game about getting your butt back. Is what the game tells you when you boot it up.
Like your butt? Like literally your butt?
Yeah, B-U-T-T, your butt. I don't know why they say that. And then like this amazing house music starts playing. And I'm like, all right, this is pretty sick. And then it's like, and it's a puzzle, it's not a puzzle platform. It's just a hardcore platformer with like really insane elements to it. I'm like, this is fucking sick. And it was 79 cents. So that's all I spent on it. It's on sale right now for $1.99.
See, I was not expecting you to say platform. I was thinking like some like dance rhythm type game. Like, why would you call?
It's incredible. It's
like
definitely challenging. It's really challenging. You can probably beat it in like a sitting of a stream if you're good at the platformer games. But
do you get your butt back?
I don't know. I'm only like 5 or 6 levels in.
Damn.
79 cents.
I mostly downloaded it because the soundtrack is just incredible if you like house music.
Yeah, they say you can buy the soundtrack on Bandcamp.
Yeah. I think it's electronicsuperjoy.bandcamp.com. But right now it's what? It's $3.75 and you get the bonus content. Like,
that's good.
I spent 5 minutes buying it last night and probably an hour, which I didn't expect to spend last night of playing it. It was just a lot of fun.
Damn it, JP.
It's just a dumb game.
JP is like the king of making me spend money, man.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Electronic Superjoy is the name of it.
It was 79 cents, and now I have to pay $1.99.
Yeah, that's how I bought it. Or that's why I bought it, because it was like...
Dude, I actually have 201 in my account, too. This is awesome.
You what?
I have like 201 because I think I bought like a Dota 2 HUD. Which I said I would never do.
Oh, God.
And then they have this underwater one. It's so awesome.
God damn it.
What? Now they have snow globe trading cards too? God.
Oh, yeah, I saw those. Dude, I have so many trading cards, and I've like tried to sell them, and it's like, you get 2 cents. And I'm like, that was totally not worth my time.
Steam is grabbing me by the neck. Like, I've been logging in every day just to vote so I get those stupid cards. I mean, like, something is like... They must have some phenomenal psychologists on their staff, because why would I care about coming back and voting for a game I'm not going to buy? But I come back every single day.
Dan. They have 3 actually.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, it's incredible.
All right, like, I've purchased it, JP.
There you go. You'll stream that tonight. You'll be sucked in by the music, I guarantee you.
I will. I already am. You play keyboard or what?
No, I'm using a gamepad.
Okay.
You can use a keyboard, I think, but I've just been using a gamepad. I think it actually suggests that you use a keyboard too, which is kind of interesting. But I've gone on too long. I still have a couple more games, but I know you do as well, Wheat. So go ahead.
Oh, the only other. Well, God, what, man, shopping like Super.
Well, I don't know
Mario
why you did that. That's why I wrote in
World. Like, okay, so I should have just got this game like in November because I knew I was going to get it for mini anyway, and no one had it. No one. I went everywhere, and JP was like, "Why didn't you just buy it digitally?"
Yeah.
And
That's
so I'm
what I
like, because here's why. Because first off, I can't transfer games to systems right now. Like it's
how many Wii U's do you have?
It doesn't matter if that thing breaks tomorrow. I'm fucked. Like,
I'm really, I have like 10 games on it.
I don't. So. The reason why I buy into the cloud so much is because it transcends all my devices. When you buy into something that's why I wouldn't buy Zelda digitally either, because I can't. Well, they do say they're going to change this in the future, but I cannot give Mini Wheat like my login and let him play Zelda. So why wouldn't I want the actual cart? Like, that's the big problem. Even on the PlayStation Network, it doesn't matter which PlayStation I go to in my house. If I've purchased this item, I can download it to that console. I'm good to go. I'm playing. I'm really against something where it's like, well, this is on the cloud. But you know what? It's a fucking one-way street, buddy, and it like shoots down to you, and then we don't acknowledge that you even exist anymore. I'm not okay with that.
Shitty.
I'm not okay with that. So until they resolve that, I've got to be a physical. I've got to be a physical Nintendo guy.
So did you find one?
I did.
Where'd you find it at? Because this was a struggle for you, wasn't it?
It was. So we went to a GameStop, a Walmart, a Toys R Us, and then we ended up finding it at like the last copy at a Target, like a random Target or something.
Wait, is that going under the tree, or did you guys already?
It's going under the tree.
So you went through all this trouble. That's what I hate about Christmas, man. You go through all this fucking trouble to like get something, and then you have to wait. Like that.
Yeah.
That's why Christmas sucks.
Yeah,
that's why
it's not with delayed gratification.
Like I'm the type of person where like if I want something, and this is why I'm terrible to buy gifts for. If I want something, I'm gonna fucking buy it. Like I'm not gonna wait. It's like, oh, that'd be a great gift to get for Christmas. Like, no, fuck that. I want it right now.
Yeah.
I just want I want instant satisfaction.
I get it. I totally get it. But yeah, that's why. So.
Well, let me know. Well, that's the other thing. I was like, well, let me know when you play it because we'll play online. Never mind. You actually can't do that.
Yeah, we can. But yeah, in like a week, I'll let you know how much.
You got your Xbox One, right?
I have not gotten it yet, but I believe it's going to
What are you waiting for?
Well, so Twitch Santa came, and they did a survey right after the console launches. They were like, it just said Xbox or PS4. So, actually I put PS4 because I'm like, I'm the PS4ologist, man. I can't put Xbox down. And then they were like, hey, we're giving everyone the console of their choice for Christmas. So I was like, yeah, Kat, can I change over to an Xbox One? Because I already have. She's like, haha, yes. So I changed to Xbox One, and should be getting it soon. So that's kind of nice because I was going to wait till next year. I was going to, the only game I really want to play was Dead Rising 3, which, by the way, once I found out I was getting, I immediately asked for it for Christmas. So figure, but yeah, so waiting a little bit longer, but.
Okay. All right.
It's coming.
Good.
Well, what's the max co-op you could play in Dead Rising? Is that only 2-player?
I have no idea. I didn't know that you even could. That's great.
I know there's co-op in it, yeah, because I've had people randomly join my game and just start talking to me, and then it's like, I gotta go, like, later, bro. I don't know if it goes higher than 2, though. I'm sure the chat will let us know. Is that anything else you've been playing, Wheat?
So Colossatron. Because I got to get a mobile game in there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, JP's like,
there it is.
It's got to be a mobile game because only Wheat does that shit. Colossatron is by the guys that made Fruit Ninja and shit.
Okay, I'm interested in
Colossatron. Yeah,
pull
so
that up.
Oh, good. I piqued your interest. It's Half Brick. So it's massive world threat. And I can't play the trailer, damn it. Because this is all it is. Okay, so first, here's what you need to know. It's presented in like a corny news broadcast. Like, this just in at Channel 6, Colossatron is taking over the city of Megaton, and we are going to go down to Julie, who's on the scene right now. And like, as this is happening, that's the game started. Like, you're this giant dragon, and the way it works is that you drag different power-up crystals onto your dragon, and if you match 3, then the gun you're using powers it up. And the whole point is just to cause as much freaking... No, Dan Gheesling, put that thumb back up. You haven't tried it yet, dude.
I saw a picture of it. It looks like a second-rate SimCity from at first glance. That's what I think of.
It's on mobile, dude.
How did you pick this game to play? Because there's millions of games, or thousands of games you get. Why pick this?
Okay.
Why did you pick this?
That's actually a good question. First off, Half Brick made Fruit Ninja. Have you ever played Fruit Ninja?
Yes.
Dude, that shit's fun as hell. That shit got so popular that you can walk into arcades these days, and they've made ticket machines based off of Fruit Ninja, like the actual Fruit Ninja. What else has Half Brick made? They've also made, well, I guess apparently nothing no one cares about. Fruit Ninja Connect, I guess that doesn't really count.
Wait a second. I just saw a picture of it versus a gunship. Okay, now okay, keep going. Sorry, go ahead, Wheat. It's a dragon versus a gunship.
Right.
So it doesn't look like SimCity anymore.
No. Like, so here, there's your dragon, and you're adding the different pieces to him, and they're just like throwing shit at you, and you're just like, do as much damage as you possibly can. The puzzle element of it is like combining the different chains of things to make bigger guns, and like what guns do you need for that level. But then as you complete each city, you know your Colossatron levels up and shit.
How is it monetized? Play to win?
It's monetized with prisms. So it is play to win, but you can buy the prisms to accelerate your... Dude, every fucking game does that, Dan. You can't, like, call it out for that. Dude, Rise on the Xbox One does that shit.
On Xbox One, Dan, you cannot thumbs down monetization.
Yes.
No, but I'd rather pay $5 for a mobile game. I'd rather pay $5 for a mobile game and then enjoy it instead of, oh, here's crystals. Oh, buy this. Oh, buy this. No, just I'll pay what you should pay for the game instead of getting it for free and dumping $200 into it like I know you do, Wheat.
I don't. I don't mind grinding. I don't mind grinding.
What's the most amount of money you've spent in a mobile game?
Dan, I want you to pocket that question, okay? No, trust me. Pocket the question, and you're gonna know when to ask to pull it out of your pocket and ask it again, okay?
Got it. Okay.
All right.
All right. So you've been playing this. Give us so why convince JP and I to play this?
I don't know that I would waste the time convincing. I'm just like telling you, like, this is why, every week the new shit comes out. This is what I decided to grab. I'll probably play it for a week, and then that'll be it. This is like absolutely an instant gratification. Oh, I get to blow shit up. It's kind of like a little bit of Burnout crap, because you're just like trying to make money by blowing stuff up. A little bit of puzzle game, but like I wouldn't be like, you guys got to get this one.
Well, because I want you to know, Wheat, I do depend on you for selecting mobile games. Because when I travel, I'm like, all right, I'll go to Wheat's review on YouTube. What do you recommend? Yeah. And so is this one that we're going to see a Wheat review of on YouTube?
This is one that you should download and grab when it's free, and that's it.
Okay.
Colossatron.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, Jetpack Joyride was the other game that Half Brick has made. So.
Interesting.
All right. Any final games?
Dan, what about, have you played any? I see something on the list there. You've been playing some XCOM?
Yeah, I just started today playing XCOM on a morning stream. There was like one of the 90s that came out. I think didn't have the patience to play it then, but I played it for like 2 hours this morning. It felt like 20 minutes. I loved it.
That game is really hooky.
Did you? The way it's set up, I can't tell if there's a beginning, middle, and end, or if it just goes on forever. Is there an end?
Oh, it definitely has an end. Yeah.
Did you beat it, JP?
Yeah. Okay. Game. What difficulty are you playing it on?
Just normal.
And what, classic or Iron Man?
No, just classic. Whatever the default settings are.
I play for a bit till you understand the game, and then once you understand the game, I would probably recommend restarting because you're going to make a lot of fuck ups in that first couple of hours.
Yeah.
With the path that you're making and characters that you're letting die and whatnot, and consider bumping it up to classic Iron Man.
Okay.
I think that's like the second to hardest.
But you enjoyed the playthrough of it, and I mean.
Oh yeah, that game's fantastic. The way that you get hooked on to like the individual soldiers that you have, and then like when they eventually die, because just how hard that game is, it's actually like impactful on you. Not because you have like an emotional connection to these people, but because you like really enjoy how well the soldier
now.
is.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're just like, fuck, like I can't believe I'm dead.
Did you beat it, Wheat? Did you play it, Wheat?
Yeah. I've actually been a big fan of XCOM for a long time.
What's it? The one came out in the mid '90s with like, I can't remember. I played it. I had it at one point, like early '90s, maybe.
I don't know
the original XCOM, like
yeah,
of course. Well, they went through their thing. I think they finally did release it on consoles, but it's kind of like a gimped version of it.
Yeah.
And then did they release maybe like a remastered sort of version of it? But in terms of like tactical games, it's actually quite good. You know, if you're a fan of like Fallout and whatnot.
Yeah.
One of the games you didn't have on there, Wheat, which I was hoping. I guess you're waiting until you get some more time in it. But I saw you play Wasteland 2.
You know, I forgot to add it, and then Dan brought up XCOM, and then someone else in chat. So
I saw you streaming the BBS version of Wasteland. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday we loaded up the old version. We were really quick to bail out of that one just because it was like, I don't know that it's great, but I was like, this is. It's like the feels were coming in. I'm like, oh my god, I'm throwing back. But then I'm like, everyone fucking is coming in. Like, what the hell am I looking at here? This is atrocious. But I gotta say, Wasteland 2 is one of those games. I'll just really quickly. I watched someone else stream it, and I was like, ooh, and then I was like, fuck it, I love Wasteland so much, I'm gonna play it. And I really it's the best of both worlds. It's like, let's take what was great about Wasteland, and let's take what was great about Fallout Tactics and Fallout 2 and even XCOM, and let's throw it in there. And it's a little rough around the edges. Obviously, it is released in sort of a beta format, but I was pleasantly surprised. It exceeded my expectations.
It looks pretty good. Like, I think the reason that I was interested in hearing you talking about is I've been playing through Baldur's Gate 1, and the fact that it doesn't look like a fucking game from the 90s, and it has like somewhat of the same system, like it's a top-down whatever RPG with choices and all that stuff, kind of interested me. But we'll see. It's still in like alpha, right?
It's in like I think it's like early beta, they call it. So whatever the hell that in the fucking timeline of development, early beta, alpha, whatever. But they've been very explicit about saying that the current state of the game is that it sort of pushes you along in a linear fashion. The whole game isn't there, but once the game is done, it is going to sort of open itself up more to the non-linear gameplay that everyone who played the original is familiar with. Because there was like, you could do all sorts of crazy shit right off the bat in Wasteland. Like, you could skip over half of the game if you wanted to.
Huh.
I had to laugh last night in your stream, Wheat. You had the BBS version up, and you were selling it so hard. You're like, oh, this is the pool. See, this is the same pool in the version that's out now. Guys, remember that?
High pool, yeah. Like, you visit all the same places. So, like, it's just it's like fan service galore, right? Like, all the stuff that's happening in Wasteland 2, if you played the first one, you're just like, oh, my God. Like, that's so awesome. Yeah. Gotta love it.
Final two games. I'll start with one that's quick. I started playing. I got my TI, my 780 Ti.
Oh, it finally came.
After UPS.
I'm not going to stream today because I haven't gotten my new card today.
Dude, I can't stream it. It fucking looks like ass on my 570. I was just like, fuck this shit,
That's
man.
okay. I understand.
I was so frustrated.
I would have been the same way,
UPS. Dude. UPS just like, how do I get box from truck to other truck? I don't know. This whole process is confusing. I'm going to wait 3 days. Like, it took them fucking 4 days to get it off of a it's sat in Mesquite. It's fucking 3 miles from me, Wheat. They wouldn't deliver that shit. I was frustrated as shit
That
with
is
UPS.
classic. That's
I even did the like dick move on Twitter, and I was like, hey hey at FedEx, you guys are really great. My friends over at UPS are having a terrible time this week delivering my pack.
Oh my God, you passive aggressive son of a bitch.
I was so passive aggressive with them.
You know that they
funny
get
tweet.
tons of those messages too, Jake.
Oh, I know. That's why I do it. 'Cause the best part is like UPS responds with like their normal like please email whatever support at ups.com with tracking number and we'll do our best to help you out. And then like FedEx didn't respond at all. I was hoping they would, but anyways. So I got that, and
Hang on a second, JP. Let me ask you, what is the real difference for you? You're streaming at 51 FPS versus 60 FPS. Is that was that why you couldn't stream?
Like 570 is a piece of shit compared to like a TI. Like it's the difference of, at least in Battlefield 4, it's like 30 FPS to like 120 FPS.
Okay, all right.
Like there's a big ramp up for it.
Okay. I didn't know if you're a complete FPS snob.
I mean, I probably am, but if I don't have FPS in like
a little
the
bit.
shooter games, I definitely won't play. Like, I'm the guy that if I wasn't locked in at 125 FPS in Quake, then I'm not fucking playing on that machine. So
Yeah.
it's just how it is. But yeah, I played the Battlefield 4 China Rising DLC. It's been out for a while, but the maps, I don't know if you pre-ordered Battlefield. I think you did, so you probably actually have access.
I probably do.
But EA is doing the same goddamn thing again, where the best maps are in the DLC, and they split the community by making the shit $50. And it's so frustrating to me because like these maps are fantastic from the 2 hours that I spent playing them last night. But there's only maybe like 10 servers total playing them, and so that's really unfortunate. Yeah.
God, that's so lame.
Haven't they screwed that game up enough, and now they're doing this on top of it? I mean,
dude, that's honestly what they should do now is just be like, look, guys, we're in court because we're getting fucked, right? Some idiot at EA sold a bunch of shares because he knew this game was going to be totally fucked when it went live. We're just gonna set all like everyone gets premium that has the game right now. Like instead of this double XP bullshit reward, like why is that the compensation for the game just being a complete piece of shit when it comes to the PS4, the Xbox One? Even on the PC, it just crashes constantly. I have actually had a pristine experience with the game somehow, but like
just rubbing it in.
Tax away. Like it's so stupid. It's such a fucking great game. Apart from all of those crashes and the fact that like I'll rarely get to experience those maps, and even the 4 other DLC packs that are coming out, I'll rarely get to experience because no one's gonna buy them.
Yeah,
I probably like a 1,000 to 1 ratio on people that buy the game versus people that buy
it's like a shame too. Like what if a game like, and I know we're coming up on the top of the hour, and then we need to split for our 2013 stuff. But what if these guys took a similar approach to like a MOBA, a League of Legends, where they're like, well, you know what? Here's your expansion map of the week. So on normal public servers, like one of these maps becomes available in the rotation. Like at least then people would be like, oh shit, that map is really good. Let me buy into it. Like a lot of people they have such a bad taste in their mouths about DLC in general, especially from games like Call of Duty and Battlefield and stuff.
Yeah, it's the worst for them.
If they took us one step towards, well, we do care about you guys. Here we go. Like, obviously, giving maps out for free would be great, but these guys have to make money somehow. That might also incentivize people. I don't know. Maybe it would help from not so much segregation.
Just give them a little. You're just saying, just give them a little taste.
Give them a taste, and then next week another taste, and then they're like, well shit.
It's shitty when you look. I know we're close to the hour. It's shitty when you look at Battlefield 4, and then you look at something like CS:GO, where they just put in new maps, and it's like, all right, guys, here's a new map. Like the entire fucking community gets this map, and it's so frustrating because the maps are so good. They look gorgeous. They're a ton of fun to play. And I guess for the final game, Starbound, I could spend all show talking about that. So we'll just save that for 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already put 50 hours into it. I'm sure I'll put another 50 in before we.
It's been out for like less than a week, right? Or a week?
It's been out like 2 weeks, I think. I like looked at the time. It's like, I put 50 hours into this game. What the fuck? I played for last Friday week because we didn't do 8-bits because I think you were traveling.
Yeah.
I was.
You played with Sean.
I did Day 9's Day Off. We played Starbound for the second week in a row, and I played for like 11 hours straight on stream.
Jesus.
It was a lot of fun.
No hesitation.
Yeah.
Did you skip meals? I mean, just locked in 11 hours.
You can eat in the game.
No, I could eat. I took a break and went and got some food when Sean took his break. But then I skipped dinner. I went and got dinner at 11 after that. So.
I was like, there's this meat in the game. I'll just eat that. If I eat enough of it, maybe I'll feel like the hunger will go away. All right. Well, guys, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, it is time to talk about our favorite games of 2013 and, start thinking about it. We didn't really put any stipulations on this at all. Could be a game from 5 years ago that you didn't discover until this year. Could be your favorite game from this year, whatever. Doesn't matter what platform. We'll give you our top 5 picks and maybe a few honorable mentions in there. It depends on how things go. So, guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll be back with more 8-bits in just a moment. Don't go away.